Hello, hello. No one's in, so I'm just going to jump straight into the game because I want to try and get as much of this done as possible today. So let's see what happens. So... Oh, there we go. I was like, I don't remember it being so dramatic before. Okay, so... Where were we before? So we'd done the detective. So I'm trying to think which would be the better one. I'm not sure which would be the better one. We'll go with these guys and see what happens. Summary of previous events. Throughout the night, Richter continues to gather information about the curse stones, while Haruwe lies awake until dawn, preoccupied by the prospect of bringing her lost child back to life. I think we may have done this one. I really can't remember, because it was just her standing outside her house. Nothing really going on. There should be some music somewhere. Audio, there we go. We'll put it up one. One. Hello. There we go. Okay, good morning, Mom. How are you feeling? I'm fine. I hope we can make good progress today. How's your curse stone looking? Haven't felt anything from it since sunrise. Interesting. It's possible that its powers can only be unleashed at night then. She looks so tired. Like, she looks how I feel, although I probably look exactly the same as well, so that's not really saying much. That aside, why are you so late this morning? There are unfortunately some things that can't be investigated while the world slumbers, but I did get some research done in what limited time I had. Very well, let's talk. Let's see, I've mentioned where I was born and raised. Okay. He's looking a bit tired. He must have been up all night investigating. By the way, there's something I wanted to talk to you about, and what's that? Our current plan is to steal a curse stone that's already absorbed soul drugs, but I'm wondering if it would suffice to not steal, but instead negotiate with the curse bearer and have them... Yeah, I've done this already. So, let's go to story chart. Yes. So yeah, we've done that already, so we're going to go with this one. Still absolutely hyper. I don't understand why. But hopefully he crashes soon. Right. The Rise of Resurrection is the inception of this whole affair. Yako and Mio decide to confront the man responsible for spreading rumours of it in the first place. Don't have a clue. Hideki Aroshi. They find him at his frequent stomping grounds, the Kurokikyo Cafe. Why did they give them such, like, unusual names? Go. Especially considering I'm knackered. Oh, there's one of those thingies on the wall. You know, normally you'd be breaking school rules just by stepping foot in a cafe. I'll be in hot water if you lied about having permission from the police, remember that. We know, it will be okay. Your hair, man. So, what did you want to ask me? It's definitely a wig. I'll have to mute and elect till it goes off. No worries. About my curse stone. Yako, if you would. Right, we wanted to ask you about this. An Okami mask. That must mean the Fool's Procession. You two were at the school last night. Damn, there of all places. Yako, you're one of them? You're a curse bearer? Please calm down, Mr. Orochi. Your reaction is too intense. It's kind of scaring me. Sorry about that. I'm afraid I got ahead of myself. What is it you wanted to know about your curse stone? Hopefully this isn't too loud, right? What would be the best way? I think flutter. It's just a brilliant teacher like you must know an awful lot about these curse stones. Well, it's true that I'm likely the person most well-versed in this matter. You're the only one we can count on, Mr. Arashi. Won't you help us, please? Oh, am I now? In that case, there's no harm hearing what you have to ask. Thank you. Let's see. Why is everything with the Rite of Resurrection and 7 mystery curse stones happening now? Oh ho, taking an interest now that you've received one of the curses, have you? It's unlike a researcher starting your questioning with your subject's origins. Mr. Orochi, you're not the one who triggered the curse, are you? No, I'm afraid I had nothing to do with that. Rather, I wasn't even attempting to do so in the first place. Oh. Completing the rite itself has nothing to do with my research. Then do you know of the ancient... Where's my water? There it is. Then do you know of the ancient Onmyodo ritual known as the Feast of Shadows? What is that? Something from the occult? Miss Kurozuzu. You look like the type to be interested in those things, but it's outside my field of expertise. In that case, why do you think the writing curses have appeared now? I believe this is the intentional work of someone. It's certainly not something that would happen by accident. Why is it you want to know? Well, you may not tell us anything else if we say that we're trying to stop the curse. We need to make something up. Right. You're saying, I hope you're, like, whispering this. Well, yeah, see, we just have such intellectual curiosity and think it could really help your research. I see. Now that you mention it. Seems like he's reluctant to answer. Tell me about it. Ask about his research. What does the record of fates that you've been researching say about the Rite of Resurrection? Oh, I see. That's what you want to know. Allow me to first elucidate regarding the author of the Record of Fates. A special privilege, I might add, since I have yet to publish this in a paper. Yeah, okay. The Record of Fates was written 200 years ago in the latter half of the Edo period. It was written by a skilled but little known onmyoji called Seimon Tsuchimikado. This is important stuff, if nothing else. Remember this. Seimon Tsuchimikado, I've never heard of him. I'm sure you haven't. He was born into a famed onmyoji family, but split away to practice forbidden arts in secret. He used whatever name was most convenient for the situation, so his real name barely exists in records. Or so it is written in the Record of Fates. As brilliant as Seimon was, he was also an eccentric. He delved into researching the Rite of Resurrection, a legendary forbidden ritual that had never been completed. However, by involving himself with this forbidden ritual, he was expelled from his family and eventually found himself in Honjo in Edo. The Record of Fates are the writings Seimon recorded on the road to Edo. I see. So he wrote how to perform the rite itself. The Rite of Resurrection makes use of Seimei's specialty, the Taizen Fuken ritual, a means of communicating with the afterlife. It uses soul drugs to replicate the soul of a dead spirit that has been called. Oh wow, I never knew something like that existed. Thus it is thought the only ones who can use it are those with the ability to turn human souls into soul dregs in the first place. So the Rite of Resurrection calls for that ritual to be performed in advance. Then when the soul dregs are gathered and infused with the wish of whoever is performing the ritual, it can be completed. The contents written in the Record of Fates end there. There's no more? What about the 7 mysteries or the curse stones? There's nothing written about them in the Record of Fates. The curse stones are separate from the Rite of Resurrection. The curse is one used to enable one who is unable to perform such rituals to be able to use the rite. That's similar to what Mio said, actually. Onmyoji, an officially appointed government position with the Bureau of Onmyo in medieval Japan. Onmyoji were tasked with performing divinations and rituals. They would employ the Chinese philosophies of yin and yang and wuxing, the 5 elements, to compose astronomical charts and almanacs. High-ranking practitioners used a variety of mystical arts, including ones that brought natural disasters and curses. Onmyoji were also tasked with exorcising demons through the usage of shikigami. Onmyoji thrived during the Heian period, in part due to the work of the famous Onmyoji and later founder of the Tsushimikado clan, Abe no Seimei. However, Onmyoji began to gradually decline in number after samurai gained control of Japan. At the same time, many of their miraculous arts were lost, along with the development of civilization. Although the services of Onmyoji were typically reserved for the upper class, there were a number of shomonji or hidden Onmyoji who worked for the common folk. So many words there. How are the 7 mysteries related to the right? Excuse me, Mr. Arashi. What is it, Miss Kurozuzu? I feel like I'm butchering these names. You published a theory before the incident took place. It said that the rite of resurrection and origin of the 7 mysteries of Honjo are related somehow. What proof did you have of that? You really know your stuff about that. That was a somewhat sensationalized piece written for occult magazines. Oh, really? It was just nonsense then? Not exactly. Rather, it's not a complete fabrication. There is a basis for it. And that is, well, I suppose there's no harm telling a couple of students so passionate about this topic. Thank you. This is something I discovered from referencing numerous texts unrelated to the Record of Fates. It was just after Seimon arrived in Honjo. There are records of a conflict over a ritual used to resurrect the dead in Honjo. A conflict over resurrecting the dead. I don't know the details. A man enticed the public with claims of a spell that could resurrect the dead, causing a conflict that ended tragically with 9 dead. That is the only remaining reference. 9 people fighting over a resurrection ritual. I call this tragedy the Honjo incident, and it has long been a subject of my research. And I suspect that this Honjo incident might be the very origin of the 7 mysteries of Honjo. So what you're saying is the resurrection ritual at the root of the Honjo incident is Seimon's rite of resurrection. I'm so confused. Yes, that is how the Record of Fates ties everything together. To put it in chronological order, first Seimon brought the rite of resurrection to Edo. We can assume that by this point Seimon was likely using a different name. Then in Honjo, 9 people fought to the death over this rite, the Honjo incident. After that, the incident was covered up by an interested party, preventing it from being recorded in history fully. Eventually it was passed down in incomplete pieces, becoming known as the 7 Mysteries of Honjo. That's more or less the course of events. So during the Edo period, a chain of events that occurred around a certain resurrection spell became the basis for the 7 mysteries of Honjo. So are they basically saying that each of the people that died that created the curse stones died in a way that was to do with this resurrection spell? That's what I'm getting. So that's how they're connected. Then if I'm getting this right, the 7 mysteries were basically required to gather the soul dregs necessary for the rite. How are the 7 mysteries related to the rite? And there's more. With this most recent occurrence of the curse, I've become more confident in my theory. You are? Yes, the reason for it being the resentful memories of the 7 mysteries etched into those who received the curse stones. Resentful memories. Yako, if you really are a curse bearer, then when you obtained your curse stone, you would have had a resentful memory imprinted in your mind. Oh, I did. Exactly, those memories of what happened in the final moments of the 9 who died in the Honjo incident. That's what I thought. I got it right. Broadly speaking, they involve dying while bearing some kind of deep resentment. The 9 victims became the 9 curse echoes, which over time came to be spoken of as the 7 mysteries, thus gathering the resentful memories granted by the present curses and connecting them together. It will reveal once and for all what happened during the Honjo incident. That's why you must tell me about the resentful memory of your fool's procession, Yako. Ugh. Mio, should I? Yeah, I think it's okay. We need all the information we can get. Tell him. Okay, Mr. Orochi, I'll tell you about the memory of the fool's procession. Excellent. So basically it's about a woman who died falling from a Yagura Tower at a festival. Interesting. It's not that one then. Not that one? What do you mean? Among the 9 victims of the Honjo incident, that is to say, the 9 curse echoes, one of them is Seimon himself, or so I suspect. Simon was one of the victims of the Honjo incident too. He's got to be one of the more powerful ones. I'm trying to think what was the most powerful one. Meaning an Onmyoji as powerful as him also became a curse echo. Right, it would make sense that the curse stone tied to a curse echo like that would be special. The power of a curse stone is different based on the cursed echo. Meow meow meow. But maybe with Simon's curse echo we could... Yes, we may be able to settle this whole situation. Hey, what are you two whispering about? Oh, nothing. Sorry. Mr. Reishi, how many of the resentful memories have you gathered so far? I have learned a number of them. The Evergreen Beach, the Foot Washing Mansion, the Ever-Burning Lantern, and now the Fool's Procession makes 4. Of those, the most important are the Foot Washing Mansion and the Evergreen Beach. What's they about? First, the Foot Washing Mansion. An Onmyoji appears distinctly in this one. Really? But not Simon, I'm afraid. A female Onmyoji who sought the right of resurrection due to her obsession with her personal appearance. Her legs, which she had always taken pride in, were stricken with corruption after she was defeated by Simon. Her curse echo is notable for being particularly easy to fulfill the requirements necessary to use the curse. That detective did well to escape this one. So a female Onmyoji and rival of Simon was involved in the Honjo incident. That certainly is interesting. Next, the Evergreen Beach. This curse echo is from a craftsman of Netsuki carvings named Jinkichi, who was hanged for spreading baseless rumours. He apparently spoke of something that granted the ability to bring back the dead. The right of resurrection. Precisely, this man Jinkichi must have been in contact with Simon. If I could just collect all of the memories, everything will be revealed and the truth of the 7 mysteries will be mine. That is the knowledge I desire. Meaning you need to gather as much information as you can from the curse bearers. Precisely. I have an agreement to exchange information with these detectives, but they might not even find the other curse bearer, so I must take measures of my own. What's the trigger for the curse to occur? Another thing, yes? You never really finished about what the trigger for all of this was. Well, I don't know. Really? You're not hiding something from us, are you? That's something to do with how you obtained the record of fates, right? How did you really get a hold of the record of fates? To tell you the truth, we're in a race against time. It could be a disaster if we don't hurry. What are you talking about? Someone left a warning that at sundown today they would use the curse to kill a lot of people. The one who left that message is the culprit behind the Najima murders from 20 years ago. What? Something so terrible will happen? I won't allow potentially hundreds of people to become victims of a curse. I'll do anything in my power to stop it. Mr. Reishi, please tell us everything you know. I'm sorry, but I truly don't know anything. The truth is, I was given the record of fates by a woman. A woman? Well, her voice sounded like a woman's, but I didn't actually see what she looked like. 1 month ago, while I was investigating at night, I suddenly heard a formless voice. A woman's voice? It said, I entrust you with this ancient manuscript and the right of resurrection held within its pages. Spread rumours of this ritual as far and wide as you can in the coming month. And before I knew it, an old document had fallen down at my feet. 1 month. She specified the time period. I was told if I did that, I could study the manuscript as much as I pleased. I wanted so badly to verify its authenticity, I ended up accepting. I haven't heard anything from the voice since then. I must have had you spread rumours in order to strengthen the power of the curse, to tie together the curse and the desire to seek out the right. This makes it likely that the owner of the voice is the mastermind behind all of this. Hence I went public with the record of fates. Hihaku and occult magazines immediately jumping at the news was a financial boon for me. Hihaku, as in Hihaku soaps. Right, I mean, no, that's not important. Just some personal business. After that I waited, trying to predict what would occur in a month's time. That's when the curse began. Those are all the details I have. Is there anything else you know? Come on. Very well, I've told you this much. I may as well give you one more thing. Thank you. What that might be. About Simon's Record of Fates. There is a sort of continuation to it. Another document called the Record of Fates Yin Scroll. Continuation? Actually, a section written in Simon's own hand was appended to the manuscript. according to which, after the Hunjo incident, Simon lamented such a calamity taking place. He apparently wrote the addendum for the event that the tragedy became its own curse. It seems he had an idea that the victims of the Honjo incident would turn into curse echoes and be used to gather soul dregs. It supposedly details how to handle any trouble that occurs as a result of the rite of resurrection. Really? Hold on a second. Don't you find that strange? What's the matter, Ms. Sagasaki? You think my information accurate? If Simon died in the Honjo incident, then he couldn't have written an addendum. You really don't get it, do you? Huh? Am I wrong? Have you forgotten the ability Simon possessed? Of course not. He could use the rite of resurrection. Oh. You're telling me Simon used it on himself? The rite of resurrection can be carried out in advance so that it activates when the soul dregs are gathered together. Then it is not possible that Simon himself was resurrected by the rite after it all took place. But he'd still have to collect the soul dregs needed to use the rite. Yes, and that's why they died, the 8 others besides Simon. What? They died in the Honjo incident for their soul dregs. That sounds like it's the same as what's happening now. That's why I need the resentful memories to learn the truth. I get it now. The issue at hand is that the Yin Scroll and the Record of Fates were supposed to have been passed down as a set. When I received the Record of Fates, the Yin Scroll was gone, only this information was left. Supposedly Simon's blood descendants... Hi, Chris. How are you? Happy Friday.
Nice.
Yay! Thanks for resubscribing. 17 months. Thank you. It's appreciated. Got anything good for the weekend planned? Alright, where do I go to? Pardon my delay, however, boyfriend called from Chicago. It's fine. I think Twitch is very quiet tonight anyway in general. Everyone's out having... Well, it's because it's Easter, I guess, and a lot of people are out seeing family and stuff. Right. Supposedly Simon's blood descendants guarded it as they passed it down across generations. It seems that over their long history, the 2 documents became separated and the scroll's location lost its family line branched. Oh, I noticed no one to watch during the day. Oh, really? Simon had descendants, so there's someone out there related to him by blood even now. Yes, in fact, I've tried to trace the line as far as I could. He wasn't a well-known Onmyoji to begin with, so a detailed family tree does not exist. It seems likely that the use of the manuscript has been long forgotten, only being passed down out of tradition, and since they aren't even aware of what they have, tracking it down is quite tricky indeed. I wish I could ask whoever that voice belonged to about the Yin Scroll. I'm sure you do. So basically, in the Record of Fate's Yin Scroll, Simon himself wrote about ways to handle the curse on the rite, yes? Yes, that's right. I've been searching for it all this time, but haven't found a single lead. So if you two find out anything about other resentful memories or Yin Scroll, tell me immediately. You owe me that much for telling you all this, do you not? That's the real extent of everything I know. And DJ Full is barely streaming. Oh, okay. He was my comfort streamer as he used to stream at random hours during the day and all. Been working on my writing this week now that my head is in a good place mentally. That's good. If you're in like more better like creative sort of spot. I'm glad. But yeah, you don't want to be distracted by our streams then. Should be spending more time writing. Okay, so this is where we got up to so far. By the way, Chris, because I was like, that was a lot to take in what just happened. So, it is said that Simon Sushi Mikado, author of the Record of Fates, wrote the Yin Scroll because he feared that the descendants of those involved in the Honjo incident might become cursed and used in the collection of soul dregs for the rite of resurrection. The existence of the Yin Scroll was indicated in a postscript added to the Record of Fates, but its whereabouts are currently unknown. It is believed to have been inherited by a descendant of Simon. I'm enjoying the rewriting of my fantasy novel surrounding what if all of the gods of the ancient world were... Ooh, that's cool. Like stuff like that.
Sorry,
Yes,
I'm not sure about that.
Shush. Yes, I understand. Thank you for your help. If you bring me some useful information, I'll take it into consideration for your school grades as well. Ha ha ha. Creep. Yako Sakazaki. Street. We've learned a lot. So to sum it up, there was a tragic incident with people cursing each other for the right of resurrection in the Edo period as well. And the Record of Fate's Yin Scroll may have info we want, since it details how to stop the rite. I think that's about it. Right. If we could just find the Yin Scroll, we might be able to learn how to settle this situation. But even Mr. Orochi didn't have any leads on where it is. How do we start looking for it? Someone involved in this now must have some connection to it, I think. I have a feeling the mastermind who awakened the curses is involved too. The strange faces. The story is great, it's just the animations. Right. I was working on the law, I realised it would work as a basis to combine and explain the existence of powerful artefacts and stuff, such as some of those which Lara has always been searching for, etc. Ooh, okay. It's a great thing to expand on. But what to do next? So, Mio, what are we going to do next? Good question. It may be best to give the information we just learned to Inspector Sasumi. We got a pretty big clue from hearing about the Record of Fate's Yin Scroll. Mr. Satsumi might know more about it. Should we go back to the school then? Yeah, that's our point of contact after all. Whoever's behind that voice gave Mr. Orochi the Record of Fates. That must be the mastermind, don't you think? Yeah, and he said it sounded like it belonged to a woman. Whoever it is, I bet they're scary. Huh? You don't sound like the Yako I know. Then let's catch him and make him spill the beans. I thought you'd say something like that. Really? I guess I'm not really feeling that confident right now. I understand. I don't know if it's related to that woman behind the voice, but I'm also interested in the female Onmyoji who was a rival of Seimon. Could be. Oh, that reminds me, Mia. You know what's nearby here, don't you? Oh, you mean where Michio? Yeah, where it happened. I was going there every day to leave flowers, even though they always get cleared away anyways. I'm sure it must be hard to have to be reminded of Michio's death all the time. Oh, that reminds me, Yako. Yes? When you asked me to do the spirit board 2 days ago, did you come here that day too? Yeah, I left some flowers before going to the school. Why? Did anything seem different that day? What's this all of a sudden? Though, now that you mention it, that day I suddenly felt lightheaded and ended up passing out for a little bit. But I came to right away and felt fine, so I didn't think anything of it. I see. That's all I was wondering about. Thanks. Excuse me, you girls over there. So I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but something you said caught my attention. Do we have the thingy down? Yes, voice volume is done. I would have no problem with the animations. It says weird facial expressions and mouths, which I find awfully disturbing. Yes. I don't get them. Just they don't make any sense. And who might you be? I'm Yaturo Namigaki. I should probably tell you. Until yesterday, I was a curse bearer. That should clear things up. A curse bearer? Oh, you didn't need to be scared. I've already given up the curse stone of the foot washer mansion. Foot washer mansion? So you're the one Inspector Sasumi was talking about. I already know Inspector Sasumi. That makes it simple. There's nothing to worry about. Oh, hey. You're in the driver's seat. Yako? Yes, wait, what? Just now, what was I doing something? Sorry, Mr. Namigaki, what might be the matter? No, it was him and his college friend that ran over Michio. Right, I actually wanted to discuss something with you two. Would you come with me if you have a little time? Discuss something with us? You were talking about Michio Shiraishi, right? It's related to that. Huh? I'm sure you would learn a few things yourselves. If not now, later is fine. I'll be waiting around Ryogoku Bridge. Something rubbed me the wrong way about this, but he mentioned Michio. What do we do? Go to school first. Sorry, but there's something we've got to take care of. We'll have to pass. I don't trust you. Is that so? Well, that's too bad. I'm in no rush, so I'll be waiting at Ryogoku Bridge if you change your minds. He's a prick. I don't like him. Can we tell the detective about him, please? Kinda, so I have to, I'm gonna have to go. Fuck's sake. I don't wanna. Okay. Come on. I did all this. Yeah, because there was the whole thing of a young man and woman being in the car that hit Michio. Well, I suppose we may as well hear what it is you have to say. Glad to hear it, then shall we relocate elsewhere? Right. I'm gonna kill you with the curse stone, because you're a dick. I can't use it during the day. Just got pics from Chicago. Me and Jay want to go to Chicago. Always wanted to go. So, what did you want to discuss with us? He caught a North American chipmunk squirrel. Ah, oh. How cute. Let's see, how do I put this? I'll tell you straight. I want you two to use your curse stones to bring Michio Shiroshi back from the dead. What? That's why I was pursuing the right of resurrection in the first place. Unfortunately, I had to give up my curse stone before I could succeed. But you two are curse bearers with some kind of connection to her, which means this is a perfect opportunity for me to ask you for this. Well, I'm sorry, this is all so sudden. I still don't understand why you would want this. What exactly is your relationship with Michio? Well, we met briefly once. I was so sad to hear the news of her death the other day. Right. While it would be great if we could bring Michio back, but we've already decided not to use the right of resurrection. He even saw some Polish products in the store. Excellent. Is that so? It seems, however, that we share a goal. I wouldn't mind collecting the soul drugs for you if you gave me your curse stone, you know. We'll have to decline that as well. Our goal is to stop this curse. I see. Well, that's too bad. I suppose I'll have to give up on the curse stones. Thank you for understanding. Phew, I thought he was a little suspicious, but he left without making a fuss. But why does he want to bring Michio back? Yako, where have you gone? Uh-oh, did she go off somewhere while we were talking? Don't be silly, Yako. Don't be foolish. Yeah, I finally caught up to you. I don't know if you noticed me following you or not, but leading me to a secluded place, you've got guts. I'm sorry, but I'll be taking your curse stone. Either you hand it over or I'll have to take it by force. He is a penis. What? Is it Michio? Yeah. Why? Are you? No, she's here again. I don't understand. Wait, it was just an accident. I swear I didn't mean to. That's why I was trying to bring you back. Oh. That's what I'm assuming she's saying. You're already too late. I don't know. Do not make me jump. Oh. So that's another ending. It's we've had this before. It's like where you come to the ending of one story, so it means you basically have to go back and do something else. So that's one ending. Sometimes these endings are like jump scares into it. So what? After this, Fumishika Najima went on to use the power of his curse to commit mass murder, shocking the public with the unprecedented tragedy. And from that day on, Yako Sakazaki was never heard from again. Ending 1. Michio's Grudge. Whoa. So that's one that I got, because I got... That's what then. So I've got to do something here then. I don't know what. Like you're only starting to be invested and then bam, the end. Yeah. So what's here? Oh, this one dumbfounds me. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. I hope we can make good progress today. How's your custody? It was so late this morning. It's research done. Very loud. More Michael Jackson cosplayer, yeah. Maybe surrounded by curses and death, it matters little. My only concern is whether I can see my child again. By the way, something I wanted to talk about. Still cursed out, yes. I wonder if it's spice not still, yeah. I suppose we could accomplish the same, but do you think that's possible? As we offer compensation, it might prove much easier than you expect. Compensation, cash. Of course, my new amount would be fine if it gets the job done. Monetary matters lead me to regret the way it did back in ransom. Do you have a curse bearer with whom we can negotiate in mind? Not yet. Surprisingly, it seems the other curse bearers haven't been that proactive about collecting soul dregs. Did you see the news this morning? No, I haven't. Overnight, 3 mysterious deaths were reported in this area. They've yet to announce the identities of the bodies found, but they've been nicknamed the Honjo serial killings. It's garnered quite some attention on the streets. Hey, my! Only 3? That's what I thought. Even if the victims were curse bearers, just 1 or 2 wouldn't be enough soul dregs. But for what those curse stones are capable of, a mere 3 victims seems a little low on the low side. For this little activity all through the night, the curse bearers must be a cautious bunch. What's holding them back? Are we not all after the power of resurrection? There may still be some undiscovered victims, but it doesn't seem like anyone has gathered enough soul dregs yet. We might have to set up some bait to spur them into action, and then we offer them a deal. Other curse bearers seem very proactive. I wonder if the situation could be what the mastermind who kicked it all off intended. No, that's an interesting theory. You think there's someone behind this all? You mentioned hearing an agonized voice telling you to kill when you first obtained the curse stone. That doesn't sound like a coincidence to me. Someone agitated the curses in this area on purpose, and they are likely after the right resurrection as well. So you're thinking this person is not one of the curse bearers. You got a sharp mind, man. Though it might seem obvious for the mastermind to become a curse bearer and collect soul dregs if they were after the right. This would be very risky, since as a curse bearer they themselves would become a target. So it would actually be more convenient for them if the curse bearers move less aggressively. That's right, but despite that, they've been inciting the curse bearers to commit murders. Why? Let's consider this. What if the mastermind isn't trying to collect soul dregs themselves? You mean their intention was also to steal the souls while the other curse bearers compete with each other from the start? Sitting back and observing from the sidelines is a safer course of action, which is why I figured it best for us to attempt the same strategy. So how should we do it? Still reason to suspect the mastermind could be a curse bearer themselves. To be honest, I want to keep my distance from whoever it is. There's no telling what kind of power they might possess. Whether our aim is to negotiate or steal, we'll have to outpace the mastermind in making contact with the other curse bearers. How do you suppose we do so? At this point, all we can do is search. I learned something new about the criminal involved with the kidnapping. Concerns the serial killings, there was a body found at Kamagata High School. The person was identified as a school teacher whose name was Kohei Jinushi. Do you think it was a curse bearer? Not sure, it's possible. But regardless, this means the two people who knew the truth about the kidnapping are both dead. Just when we were getting somewhere. It wasn't enough to make me give up, of course. So we don't know anything about Michio Shiroshi's residence. It would be wise to pay it a visit. Understood. About the curse bearers. If there's a mastermind inciting the curse bearers to collect soul droves, can we be sure that even is a rite of resurrection? Good question. The rite could be nothing but a myth fabricated to spur the curse bearers into action. Seeing it might be for naught, do you want to give up, Mum? Of course not. Never. Understood. After all, we'll never know the truth unless we see it for ourselves. But we'll do it without using the curses ourselves. In addition to the 3 victims associated with the Honjo serial killings, there's Michio Shiroshi, who reportedly committed suicide, and the police officer who died at the former Yasuda Gardens. If strange deaths continue occurring like so, they're bound to inspire strange rumours. But those last 2 have nothing to do with the 7 mysteries, no? It's true, both occurred a week before that accursed situation began. Still, it cannot be ruled out. It's possible that the mastermind was involved even with those killings. How? Or if there were preliminary steps to awakening the 7 mysteries curses, can we really assume they're unrelated just because the timing doesn't match up? Or rather, the police officer's death is so baffling that it'd be easier if it were connected to these curses. The victim wasn't the type to be caught off guard easily. You seem to know a lot about this. I suppose we weren't strangers. My personal feelings might be wrapped up in this one too. Oh. If you were to investigate this matter more, you might get a lead on the mastermind. You're right. If we wish to focus on the mastermind's identity, this will be a fine starting point. We'll go with that then. We might even discover more deaths related to the curses on the way. We should pay attention to today's news. By the way, I met a few people who seemed like potential curse bearers last night. I did some investigating into all of them, but I only managed to get detailed information on 2. You're quick. I suppose that's to be expected from the investigators extraordinaire. I appreciate the flattery. First, there's Ayame Tono, the girl we talked to before, though she isn't a curse bearer herself. She's a student attending to University of Art. She currently lives alone in an apartment near Midoricho Park. You even determined her address. You're not one to be underestimated, Mr. Investigator Extraordinaire. I called every single university with Yukioi in their curriculum and pretended to be her parent. I went around to check on her place on the way there. On the way here, it doesn't seem like she returned home last night. I'm worried she might have run into some trouble. Didn't you attempt to follow her last night? I'm embarrassed to say I couldn't. She shook me. I couldn't keep track of her. But here I thought you were an investigator extraordinaire. I'd like to learn more about her, but it would take some time. She's planning to steal the curse stones just like us. It's best we act carefully around her. Next is a tall man who was dressed in black. I met him near Kinshiko. He stood out, but with the way he dressed, I managed to get some good information from him. Impressive? What can I say? He works as a secretary to Hihaku Soap's chairwoman. I believe his name is Takumi Yamioka. The Hihaku Soap's headquarters and factories are both located in Honjo, correct? Yes, they've been here for a while, but it's only in the past 10 years that the company has shown significant growth. I remember seeing the chairwoman on the news a few years back. She seems to be very shrewd. With the increase in sales, I assumed she'd want her factories running at full capacity. But with the harsh restrictions against industrial waste, a lot of the factories with older equipment had to be shut down. That's right, even 10 years ago, there were many complaints about chemical plants dumping waste into the river. Most companies back then were more concerned with making a profit than protecting the environment. I wonder what a man working for such a company would have been up to in the middle of the night. On the way here, I stopped by the company's headquarters, but they hadn't started for the day. I should have better luck later. Let's hope you will. Perhaps they're interested in seeing if the rite would be beneficial for their product research into beauty and skincare. Ha, now that's an interesting thought. I ran into one more suspicious young man last night. This one seemed to be out collecting soul drugs, right? Indeed, I couldn't get a good look at him though, and I couldn't gather enough intel to properly identify him. Well, that's a shame, but I can make an educated guess. Oh? You know that researcher who discovered the ancient text on the Rite of Resurrection, the one that lives near here? His name is Hideki Arashi, and the man I met was very similar in stature. Oh my, even he is involved. How awfully suspect. Considering his background, couldn't he be the one who initiated the whole affair? I think it's possible, yes. Which is why I decided to refrain from making contact with him for the time being. Safety first, understandable. Of course I want to learn more, but this isn't the right time to focus on him. I prefer to ascertain who else is a curse bearer. First, I'll return to Hihaku Soaps to see that man in black. The headquarters are down on South Aragasui Street. Well, that's all I have to report. Shall we continue with our investigation? What do you want to do? If you still can't use the cursed stone, taking a walk should be a fine place to start. Right, let's go together. I want to see what's going on for myself. In that case, I'll trust you to decide on where we should go. That's all done. Where should I go to begin my search? Which places have stood out to me so far? Like, I've been to these places and I can't really do anything. This is where I'm really stuck. Here we go, ground zero. Kamagasa High School. I guess it's logical that the police got this place shut down. Teacher's body was found here after all. It's as if the students have nowhere to go now that the school's closed. The officers still inspecting the scene. Entry has been strictly prohibited. This place is said to be connected with the story of the Fool's Procession. I wouldn't be surprised if a curse bearer decided to turn up. However, I need to... It's nice, isn't it? I like this one. I need to find out if that teacher was a curse bearer or not. I expect the police to be baffled since they don't know about the curses. I can ask around and see what the students have to say. Alright, I'll go ask the students about Michio. I'm back, Mum. Would fit more of a romantic scene full of nostalgia. Yes. That's the thing. I do find a lot of the music in this doesn't really fit the situation that it's put in. So what did you learn? That school kids sure love a good rumour. I was practically drowning in stories about Mrs. Janucci and Michio, most of which seemed dubious at best. Not surprising. Most of what I heard was hardly worth a second thought. But there was one story that caught my attention. Oh? Some believe that Michio is the one who killed Mrs. Janucci. Really? The story's got two pieces of evidence to back it up. One of them wasn't news to me. Apparently he's been mumbling that Michio was going to kill him for some days now. A fellow teacher overheard his mumbling and told the students. And then it spread like wildfire, I suppose. Rumours that Jews see don't stay a secret for long. As for the other piece of evidence, a pigtailed girl in her school uniform was seen around school late last night. Go on. Although numerous people claim to have seen the girl, not one of them saw her face. Some are proposing it was Michio brought back to life or that it was her vengeful spirit. But it's not like Michio's the only high school girl to wear pigtails. This rumour might have been made up just to fan the flames. But if it were true, I'd want to get a hold of her in order to hear her side of the kidnapping. If she's alive, that'd be ideal. Still, one more thing I should mention. I discovered where Michio lived. A student had a list of student addresses on hand. That's an amazing find. I believe all of the students actually have a copy of said list. It truly worries me how easy it was to obtain what should be confidential information. Imagine what would happen if that information got into the wrong hands. Well, so far it hasn't, no? Sure, let's hope it stays that way. In the meantime, it's now possible for us to visit Michio Shirai's house. Still no one else for me to look at? No. Imagine the students are uneasy after learning of the murder. It may do them well to stay home for some time, if not for fear of their safety. The police are probably too wrapped up in solving the case to be concerned about the students' mental health. I can see that. It's important that society provides a safe environment for the benefit of our youth. Some school policies could use some rewriting, especially those handling the students' personal information. It reminds me a bit of an old anime from the 70s. Oh, really? That's right, I don't want a student being kidnapped on their way back home ever again. I expect criminals to grow more cunning as time passes. There may be times where the authorities can't keep up. That's where outlaws such as myself come in. What's this about? Actually, just forget I said anything. No, tell me. She still resembles a character from it, only this one has black hair. I think at this point the entire thing is on YouTube. Oh, okay. Maybe he inspired it. I can't remember if we went to her house last time. So, I don't know what's the matter with my head. There we go. How did it go? I went to visit Michio Shureishi's family home. However, no one seemed to be there. I got no answer at the door and all the lights were out. Seems to have been empty for a while now. There was a stack of newspapers out front. Social connections run deep in working class areas like this place, so I decided to talk to the locals. I met a few nice old ladies who were kind enough to give me the scoop. Turns out the Shureishi's reputation really went down the dumps this past year. Is that so? I'll give you the quick summary. They moved here about 3 years ago. Their previous residence was in a better part of town. Michio's father died in a car accident, leaving behind just the two of them. Michio's mum, Toshiko, now a single mother, relocated here. At first they got along with their neighbours, many of which were in similar situations, helping and being helped in turn. So far so good. What happened? He's finally gone off. Well, as I said, their reputation began to go downhill about a year ago. A man recognised as Toshiko's common-law husband had moved into the household. His name was apparently Kankichiro Iwai. Neighbourhood gossip is something else. Somehow everyone knew his name. So what of this Iwai character? He was apparently a vulgar fellow with a criminal record. He was prone to violent outbursts. The neighbours have often heard screams and shouting coming from their home. The neighbours took particular notice of Toshiko's screams, pleading with him to not hit Michio. That's terrible. As if that wasn't unsettling enough, every night the neighbours also began to hear an eerie chanting. Through this, the Shureishi's standing in the neighbourhood plummeted rapidly. Toshiko was often seen covered in bruises and wounds. She stopped responding to her neighbours. She would just turn the other way when greeted. They kept their storm shutters closed even during the day and effectively shut themselves away from the entire community. That sounds horrible. Why didn't the police step in and do something? Unfortunately, under our current laws, the police aren't allowed to get involved with domestic disputes. It's stupid. And then Michio reportedly killed herself. Things only got worse with Away, and Toshiko was admitted to the hospital for physical and mental abuse. Ever since, Away hasn't returned to the home. Many locals expressed sympathy for Michio's circumstances, but just as many were fed up with the Shureishis entirely and seemed relieved that things finally quietened again. My niece is messaging me. 1 second. I think she wants to subscribe to my Twitch. What days do I have Twitch? Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Yeah, I didn't tell her Saturdays because she probably wouldn't be going to a Saturday one. It's called General Deimos, and despite being an anime evolving about Earth constantly repelling an alien invasion using a transformer-like robot, it was a beautiful romance element which can bring tears even today. Oh, that sounds cool. I'm tempted to have my Easter egg. I don't know if I should. Not as in the one from Natalie. I'm meaning my dime one that I've had since February. Because I think the one that Natalie did, that's way too heavy, so that would affect my weigh-in tomorrow. But yeah, I'm thinking I should probably start on that. What do you guys think? Probably should. Probably should what? Start on my egg. Do it. If my weigh-in tomorrow sucks, I'm blaming you guys. Okay. Wait till you see the size of this egg, Chris. It's huge. But it's been cooling out to me since like February. Love it so much. Get it every year. It seems that they were all still considered outsiders even after 3 years of living here. Kettle on. Yay! How can I suffer the consequences being so many kilometres away? You'll suffer the guilt and the, like, just the mental sort of pressure I put on your shoulders. I said the blame, the betrayal. I don't understand it. Why would Toshiko have gotten involved with such a brutish good-for-nothing in the first place? I've heard many stories where one partner's personality does a complete turn after entering a relationship. After her first husband's death, Toshiko's financial situation had also taken a turn for the worse. Emotion purge. Lose it, sucker! Aww, bless her. They flew home today. And she said their flight home was much better than the last one, so that's good. She was determined to send her daughter to a good high school. It's possible she fell victim to sweet promises. Life can be tough, I suppose. You don't seem moved by the story, Mom. That's fine. People have all kinds of stories. But the Shirashis certainly hadn't lucked out with theirs, bringing such a violent man into it. Oh, okay. Meh. Shirashis were dealt a tough hand. I can't imagine what it was like. Could it be the girl was forced by her circumstances to take part? In the kidnapping. Right, so we've done that. See, I think I've done all these. We're here. This is Midoricho Park. Ayame Tono lives around here. She wasn't in her apartment when I dropped by this morning. I wonder if it's worth checking again. As to the anime, the aliens look like humans in almost exactly every way, except they have gorgeous angelic wings, which they could conceal at their back underneath their clothes. Ooh. Won't get much done standing around here. Why don't I go and check out Ayame's apartment? Why don't you... You don't mean to speak with her, do you? No, I prefer to get an idea of what she's been up to. I'd like to see whether she's been home or not, just to potentially get a trace on her movements. Then be my guest. Okay, I shouldn't be long. I'm back, Mom. So, nothing. I'm afraid so. She still hasn't returned. However, I noticed a few people who seem to be related to the police force keeping watch in the area. I don't know if they've got eyes on her apartment, but they do appear to be watching the building it's in. Interesting. You've got sharp eyes to have noticed them despite them being so covert. What can I say? It's part of the job. However, it meant I had to refrain from knocking on her door or looking through her windows. I wasn't able to check her electric meter or mailbox either, unfortunately. You are planning to go that far? We won't make much progress sticking around here. Meh. What a waste of time. We should move on quickly. It's nothing. I suppose it's connected with the story of the takeover of Suguru. Not only that, Katsushika Hakusai's home was also in this area. That might be why Ayame chose to live here. I'm really stuck. I really don't know what else I'm supposed to do. And the main antagonist of General Daimos is named Richter! Oh my god! It's like an evil blonde version of this dude with gold and blonde hair. Like, it must have been someone involved in this must be a big fan of that anime then. The Hihaku Soap's headquarters are on the other side of the street. They were closed when I visited this morning, but it appears things are up and running now. To think small soap making company could grow so much in such a short time. They have factories and warehouses throughout the area now. You can see why director and now chairwoman Natsue Yamamori is called the Queen. Yes, Queen. You mentioned that Takumi works as her secretary. That's correct. Do you think it's possible he's acting on her orders? That's exactly my thinking. A curse bearer with both money and power could certainly look at resurrection as their next prize. Negotiating with a person of that stature may prove difficult. First I need to confirm whether Takumi is the man I ran into last night. Then I'll be able to determine if he's a curse bearer. It would be better if I go inside the headquarters alone. You should walk around, visit a cafe, or have some tea. Was that too resilient at his age? Perhaps. Egg.
Like, that's his normal egg on the left, my egg. That's his normal egg.
Yes, but you have two of those.
Yes, but it's still less weight than yours. So, mini me.
So you just crashed, did you? Family, yeah. It's like Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah.
So.
We have Chris.
Yeah. Hi, Chris.
There's no sign.
Chris is on. Yeah, no signs is on. I popped into a stream earlier. Hi, Jay. I lovely sharing.
Wow, it's as big as my bloody egg.
Love it. Waited since, or actually I waited since last April to have this again.
You don't have Cadbury's?
You don't have Cadbury's?
What do you use?
You haven't lived, here you go. Yeah, Violet's messaged me. She was like, how often, she went, how often do you blog? Bless her. Yeah, she said the flight was much better on the way home. So I said, well, we'll see you very soon. So.
10:30.
Yeah.
Is that how you get up there?
Yeah. Thank you for my egg and my tea. And I'll try. Oh, yeah. Love you. Yeah. My egg. It's like it's got its own orbit. We only have Milka and our local manufacturer from over 100 years called Vedel. Yeah. Ah. I don't think I've ever tried Polish chocolate. Like this. Have you never tried Dime? I don't know if you've ever heard of Dime. Like I was obsessed with. There were little chocolate bars when I was younger. You could get them in IKEA now. And I don't know what it has in them, but it's like a caramelly sort of nougat. It's like crunchy. Never heard of it. Oh, okay. And it's like the bars were like really thin. I'm trying not to let my egg roll off. There you go. It's like really, really thin bars, and it's like a crunchy, really hard toffee nougat thing in the middle. So it was like crunchy. It was like a almost break your teeth sort of thing with a really thin layer of chocolate on it. And it's just the most amazing thing. That and Biscoff are like my absolute favourite in terms of sweets. And disappeared for years. I don't know what happened to it. And then I think Cadbury bought it. And like you see them in IKEA now, they do like bags, and they do them in like little sort of like tiny little sweets that you buy. And if you were to give me a bag of these sweets, I'd just eat the whole lot in one sitting because I love them so much. But yeah, so this is my egg. Compared to my head, this is how big it is. And I'm not going to be able to break it either because it's thick. It's not just like big, but it's actually got the dime pieces in the egg, which is why it's so amazing and I can't break it. It's why I'm going to struggle. I might have to use my PlayStation controller. Oh my god. Ah, there we go. See it, you can't really see in the chocolate, but it's thick. So good. If ever we meet up, Chris, I'll bring you some Cadbury's chocolate. Just had a Bounty bar. I love Bounty. Bounty gets such a bad rap, I don't know why. Yeah, the only problem with Cadbury's is I think it melts really quickly. So your fingers do get very, very sticky. That chance considering I ain't moving anywhere for a while. You never know. One of us might have a holiday and just bump into each other. Right. In the Edo period, the canal known as South Road. I'm dropping it on the floor. No, precious chocolate. Where did that go? How did it drop? Where did it go? Disappeared. Oh dear. Now I'm saying to myself I'm going to eat half of this, I'm not going to eat the whole thing. But you watch me as I just demolish the whole thing. Back in the Edo period, the canal known as South Morigasui ran through this area, but it's been turned into a major road. Okay. It's a bit away from Kinshicho Station or Ryogoku Station, though it's still considered a nice area. Stories of the ever-burning lantern and the foot washing mansion both took place around here. One of the bodies discovered this morning was found by this road as well. It's quite a lively area, huh? I suppose you could call it somewhat of a city centre. I'm going to go in, it may be a while, so feel to find somewhere to kill time. Okay, good luck in there. Sorry to keep you waiting. How did it go? I don't remember this. This might be new. I fast forward to the conclusion. I met with Takumi. There's no doubt he's the same man I saw last night, but it doesn't seem like he's a curse bearer. But that doesn't mean he has no connections to the recent curses. Grr. He knew about the 7 mysteries. He even guessed we have a curse stone of our own. Excuse me? I tried to approach Takumi about a fallen item after I ran into him last night, however. Said your name was Richter, correct? I have a favour I'd like to ask of you. I'm hoping you would hand over the curse stone in your possession. Curse stone? What are you on about? There's no need to play dumb with me, in fact, there's no time for it. I had all the same reason you did to think you were a curse bearer last night, and your arrival here only confirms it. You are a curse bearer, no? You're right, we lack time. I'll confess, I am a curse bearer. I possess the curse stone of the haunting clappers. I'm glad to hear the truth. Finally, this conversation is worthwhile. It is a dangerous item you hold. Give it to me. My company will take the responsibility to dispose of it. I didn't know the soap business specialised in scrubbing curses clean. It is the prerogative of Ms. Yamamori. Is that so? I'm assuming you've obtained the curse, you understand the power it involves, no? Miss Yamamori possesses supernatural powers akin to those of a god. She also has a deep love for this land, having transformed it from the pile of dirt it once was to the home of our headquarters. Steve playtested my demo of Tiara Lee last night on... Oh, did he? Oh, I didn't know that. I thought he was playing the Tower one. Oh, I'll have to watch the VOD. She cannot stomach the fact that it's now the sight of these curses run rampant. So you're telling me the Queen of Hihaku is a real-life witch? She wouldn't appreciate being called that, mind you. He finished it as he paused near the end. Ah, okay. There's a sorcerer by the name of Suigen Gamiodo, who's gallantly working behind the scenes, exercising spirits and the like. Tried playing TRA Retold, but that level was broken in terms of controls and gave up and didn't want to end. Ah, okay. Took my suggestion and playtested my TRA. Senpai noticed me. Oh. Did you enjoy it? I think he didn't hate it. I mean, considering it's your first try. There's a sorcerer by the name of Suigen Gamiodo who's gallantly working behind the scenes, exercising spirits and like. Go on. That being so, there have already been instances of the dead coming back to life. Do you understand the urgency of this matter? These are curses we're speaking of, tools which are used by wicked beings to possess people. The rite of resurrection is nothing but a fabrication meant to seduce the curse bearers into unspeakable action. If you truly understand what I'm talking about, you must hand over that curse stone at once. Very interesting. With that said, just how many curse stones have you acquired so far? You know how Steve is, the earlier level riled him up and he felt a bit all over the place after. Oh. If what you tell me is true, surely the company would have launched a large-scale search by now. His face. We have 6. 6. Whoa, I can rest at ease then. And here I thought I was at risk of being cursed. It seems we're on the same page. If that is the case, you should hand over your curse stone immediately. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it's not actually in my possession at the moment. Considering its importance, I've been keeping it in hiding. Really now? Then I'll accompany you while you retrieve it. I'm sorry, but I've got something important to attend to, but I promise I'll return with it later. Very well. Then you won't refuse to provide your address and telephone number, I presume. How prudent of you. I'll oblige. And that's how it went. So they aren't after the right at all. I wouldn't be so quick to trust him, no. He's dodgy as fook. I believe we're dealing with a master in deception. He may well have made up a story to convince us to part ways with our stone. I think he was lying about having procured 6 curse stones as well. Like, really? 6? That's excessive. Oh, now I feel gullible. The company is plotting something. I wonder what they mean to do with the curse stones. He seemed rather desperate to get hold of ours, despite us not having collected any soul drakes. Perhaps the people at Hihaku are the masterminds behind the curses being unleashed. Because the chairwoman's a witch? I wonder about that too. If she really were that powerful, would her secretary have divulged that information so casually? Takumi was either making it up as he went, or he was trying to spread a rumour. For what purpose would he do that? Recently, people have been caught up about the occult more than ever before. If word spreads that Hihaku's chairwoman has godlike powers, she could very well benefit socially and politically from that mystique. That's unsettling. By the way, there's one more thing of interest I heard while in the company's reception lobby. And what's that? People were discussing whether one of the bodies found this morning was that of a Hihaku employee. Really? So long as the officials haven't revealed the identity, it all amounts to no more than speculation, though. Despite that, I have reason to believe Hihaku Soaps is deeply involved with the Seven Mysteries. At the very least, I can assure you I've gathered that much. The more we know, the better our negotiations will go. We should avoid Hihaku for the time being. It'll be a pain if I have to deal with Takumi again. How interesting that the Queen of Hihaku, or the witch, whatever she is trying to get her hands on the right resurrection. It's like some kind of dark fairy tale. After about 40 minutes of this music playing in loop, I'm officially praying for increased deafness. Got sweetness overload. Figured out something I kind of masked. A demo was just an attempt to put together a TRLE that makes sense in terms of what you have to do. Figured out something I kind of mastered. I think he achieved all I wanted. That's good. Regardless of what is or isn't true, we must stay one step ahead. I don't know where else we can go. Nothing else I can do, so I don't know if it's worth me. Doing this. Yes. I am so stuck. I don't know what I'm doing. I must be missing something in this one. Play some satanic chant for a moment or something. Yeah. Sorry. No idea. I think I'm gonna have to. I've got to restart something. I can't go any further. I'm not getting any continuation of stories. So I've obviously done something somewhere. It's fine. So I'm just busy, more distracted by my chocolate than anything else. So you may have to bring up wipes because I'm currently covered in chocolate. Okay. So we need to go back to the school. What happens if we do this? So we've done all this. Sorry, that's not why I'm not reading it. Because I'm like... I just want to see if it's this that triggers the guy turning up. No, it doesn't. Okay. There we go. It's me trying to break the chocolate. I have a feeling it's when you've done all this that he comes along, so I don't think you can avoid it. Because I can't do anything, I can't change. So I'm going to do this and I'm going to say no. I'll say later. Because I want them to go and talk to the police first. His face like, yeah, so we know that he's basically the one that hit Michio in the car. Go to school first. And then I'll go to the detectives one and replay that. So we'll go. See if this does anything.
Fancy sushi.
Got ourselves a deal. Right. You guys are funny. You should do stand up. How much we've been able to figure out. I know what happened around midnight. So I'm invoke the Feast of Shadows. It's my hypothesis. Alright, sounds about right so far. I'm sure you know there's actually 9 mysteries, not 7. Because the shadows of the cast curse stones appeared before those who wanted the right of the locals. That's 7 mysteries. Managed to gather 3 curse stones so far, including the one I got first, the Evergreen Beach. Got 3 already, wow. Have a curse stone in the full possession, while Yako, the girl standing behind me, does. That's me, the girl standing behind you, Mio. Piece of Shadows has no effect during the day, and there's still something I want to find out. Alright, I'll leave the fourth possession with you two then. You want to talk to me? You're probably better off asking me. Thank you, please keep collecting the curse stones. I'll be looking for a way out of the Piece of Shadow. Okay, got it. That should make things go more smoothly. You were here last night? Yes, you see. To use another spirit board? That's so cool! How we managed to get away without accidentally setting it off. Because Echo we saw took the shapeful when missing an arm and a leg. What? When I'm missing an arm and a leg, that's the one-sided read. You idiot, think! The curse bearer of the one-sided reed is... Najima! He admitted it to himself, that's his curse. Oh, that's right. Wait, but if that's the case, Najima might have been here last night. It's possible he was lying to us, but what? And here's Najima, no clue. He's trying to get to your daughter too. That's why we've been trying to find him, but to no avail. Honestly, this information has been most useful I've gotten so far. So just to be sure, could you tell me who else was at the school last night? Well, as far as we know, there was us, Mr. Shinichi, one of our classmates, Hitomi. Don't forget old man Ashimiya. Wait, Hitomi? Do you mean Hitomi Okuda, second year student? Well, yes. Why? Boss. So she was here last night. I saw Hitomi earlier though, and she didn't seem like a curse bearer to me. You did? Did you talk to her? Yes. Would you mind if we asked you a few questions about that? Hitomi said she didn't want to talk to the police because she was afraid she would become suspect. So I can't tell you anything unless you swear you won't drag her into this. Oh, I see. Don't worry, this is about a different matter. A different matter. I mean about the police officer. You know about that? Did Hitomi say something about him? Yes, she did actually. Tomi did say that Mr. Yoshimi entrusted her with something. He did. What was it? Her talisman. God, so much to get through. This is what's frustrating about this game in terms of I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. So I could be going through all this and I'm actually going the wrong way. I'm actually looking at the wrong thing. Let's talk to her about this talisman. I'm not sure she never opened up to anyone except Mr. Yoshimi. I'm no good, huh? I was supposed to be Yoshimi though. You don't seem like too bad a guy. Not all that scary for a cop. Amount of dialogue, it does. It's never ending. She really doesn't want to end up becoming a suspect. To be honest, she was even a bit worried of us. Do you think she talked to Yoshimi's fiance? Haven't they met before? Oh, they have. She told us about that. Yes, she might be wanting to talk to her. Alright, then we better find her fast. But being able to reach her, that's a little worrying. instructions. What's happened to him? Paranormal Affairs Bureau. Oh yes, Akakoshi's chief, but he's almost never in, so I don't really know the guy. To be honest, I'm not even sure if he exists or if he's just a figurehead. I've never spoken to him myself. Akakoshi cases. Jeez, what's up with that? I was looking for maybe the missing puzzle piece of this mystery. First up to the Piece of Shadows, it would help if I knew more about the curses or several mysteries first clear about. Yumi Misarashi, I would very much like to talk to him. It's the usual cafe working on his papers. So we did that. So we'll say we're not allowed to go into cafes though. That's hilarious that they actually have that rule. That's all it takes. I'll find out why. One person, then I'm not too clear on the details of someone else. Apparently Hitomi actually saw Mr. Tanushi getting cursed and killed last night. What she said happened was... you sure it was really Michio that she saw? Well, that's what she told me, I wasn't there. It must mean there was another curse bearer here last night. She knew she was killed by a curse, so someone had to have been here. Whether it was Michio or not. I don't think it could have been Michio's ghost. I mean, based on what we've heard, she does have plenty of reasons to be vengeful. Because of paranoises doesn't mean just anything is possible. What about Hitomi's story? How old is he? That's not interesting. He was on just transferred to school though, so I have no idea. He's around 50 years old. He came to our school about half a year ago. No one knows what he did before, so there are all kinds of rumours about him. I think I'm starting to get a better picture of who he is. Listen up. It's not uncommon for former prisoners to find work under an alias after their release, and notoriety attached to their former name can get in the way of proper rehabilitation. Anyway, I have the officers apprehend the janitor who worked the night shift, so he might still be in the overnight room. That's that way. Boss, bad news. Apparently the room's been empty all morning. Sounds like they've been looking to question Ishimiya too, but couldn't find him anywhere. That's all but confirms it. Just one more thing to check. Are there any photos of Ishimiya? The old man seriously hated getting his picture taken. He'd always avoided it. Call an urgent shirt for Makoto Ishimiya. We can't let him go away. Yes, I'll contact HQ right away. What? Actually, okay, that's our first sort comfortably. Didn't expect this at all. Bex, hello! Wasn't expecting to see you here tonight. How are you? We're kind of stuck right now, just trying to figure out what we're doing. But happy Friday anyway. Hope you've had a good Friday. You missed the notification. What the hell? Bloody Twitch. Take it you've just been gaming. Feeling stuck. Story of my life. Story of everyone's life. Mayo showing Ishimi on my curse stone last night. I don't like this one bit. Najima did say he wasn't specifically targeting curse bearers, but... Wait, but then could it have been old man Ishimiya who attacked you in the hallway? I almost told him you were still in the building. What, you did? Good thing I didn't say anything. Got very lucky there, kid. Dog wants to go. No worries. It's too much. I hope they find him soon. Don't end. I'll try not to. Oh, for God's sake. Right, so that's... I was definitely killed by a curse, but I wonder what this... Call it area, you're scaring her. This kind of stuff is a little much for a kid. You've missed me nomming on my giant Easter egg. I'm pretty sure she only asked because you were staring at it so intently. Right, most of the curse still linger here. I figured as much. Does that mean usually she was killed by one of the curse's 7 mysteries? There's a strong curse like that always leaves behind a trace. Used to this kind of thing. I wouldn't say I'm used to it, it just comes with experience, I guess. No, I've heard some stories about you. You investigate a gruesome scene where someone had been killed by a paranormal attack without even breaking a sweat. Stop witnesses to see me, she's going to get the wrong idea. Well, that's amazing. Yo, you're a professional, I think. Totally, you're cool even in the face of death, that's awesome. When you put it like that, I'm not sure how awesome it is. So curse was used here, which means the curse bearer must have been on the scene too. So curse was used... there then. If the curse's origin and the cause of death are connected, it could give us another lead. I don't think that's it. What's that thing you mentioned about Michio earlier? Something about a grudge. Did you know anything about her? What's your relation? I'm her friend. I was actually planning to resurrect her at first. Getting quite a lot of information from you two. It's only fair we share as well. Never mind, it's just a theory. Re-examining the crime scene, Yoshimi concluded that Michio's death wasn't suicide. It was an accident. Being hit by a speeding truck or van would have resulted in similar injuries. The investigation was ordered by Yoshimi, so it seems he had his doubts about it being a suicide. Good, it would have made me hangry. I mean, I still have half of it left. Nom. But yeah, I just can't eat the rest. Well, I could nibble. I've got the line that I'm working to. Thud. Two Easter eggs on my Sainsbury's delivery tomorrow that I bought myself. Nice. What ones did you go with? And a box of cream eggs. Ooh. I have a dime giant egg. I've got buttons. My fingers are just now covered in chocolate though. Eggs have to be Cadbury, yes. Wonder what he got his hands on to be able to blackmail her like that. Seen that ribbon before. Ribbon of Michio you always used to wear. So we did all this. But how? If I was Michio and I came back to life, where would I go? That's the question. She got her revenge on Janushi, but she may have more revenge to dish out. Is there anyone else she'd have a grudge against? Well, what about the guy who killed her in the collision? If she really did come back to life, then it's terribly sad that she's spending her new chance at life like this. Being obsessed with revenge is such a tragic way to live. Ooh. I'm afraid that's all we can tell you. Don't worry, you're a big help. Let's use the school as our base of operations. Okay, so I've got all this. So why can't I... Zoom. I really don't know. Why does a chocolate on an egg taste so good? Someone posted that the other day saying, I'm not mad, but chocolate tastes best as an egg shape. Don't know what it is. It just does. Didn't actually kill herself. No one home. I've done that. How do I make it go? I am so stuck. There's got to be something with this one, but I don't know what. Why is the music so loud? I've literally got it on level 1. That is all I've got it on. This is like the 3rd time I started this one. Oh, I really can't be bothered. I'm just clicking through because stop it. This game would have baffled the snot out of me. I've just not got a clue where I'm supposed to go. I must be missing something on this one because this is the only one that's not giving me the chance to move on. But I don't see, I'm like out of options. So I'm moving it, I'm clicking it quick, and it's like doing different poses. Hint system? What hint system? You have the think one. There's another hint button. Let me know where it is. We've done all this, come on! Yeah, this is the one thing I do not like, the fact that you have to go through everything. No. That's all done. So we did this, so we'll get this one done. I think I have to talk to him. There. So that's the extra bit that I've had. This guy looks so weird. Totally not suspicious. Discussing the other death. It's everything in this area. It's just a matter of trying to figure out get everything ticked. That's the only way I can. nothing in this area. About blending in, but what exactly are we going to be doing? Once we've done this. Be something annoying like a single hotspot behind you or something, yeah. Saying to go to her house. The rumours. How her stepfather was a dick. So he's gone missing. What? Oh, so you came here too? Huh? Where is it? This is new. Ah! Why? Why? Oh my god. Seriously. Ah. Did I just have to do it in a particular order? Finally. Ah. Seriously. I was getting really stressed. Now, Haru and Richter visit Michio's home, having determined her to be a key player in the unresolved kidnapping case from a year before. As a complicated story begins to unravel, they encounter two men. Oh, this is a new track. I like this one. Again, doesn't really go with what's going on, but ma'am, allow me to introduce one of our country's most elite detectives. The name's Jun Ario. I'd hardly call myself elite, but either way, it's nice to meet you. This here is the brilliant Chief Inspector Sasumi, and yes, he's just as rough and tumble as he looks. Do you need me to turn down the music? Or is it not too bad? Sometimes I really don't know if you're complimenting or putting me down. So you two are detectives. This is my client, Miss Haraway Shigima. Her father's a big deal in the police himself, so remember to mind your manners. A big wig named Shigima? Boss, you know of this guy? Shit, I've heard the name, but you know I don't keep track of who's who in the upper echelons. There's no need to worry, I am my own person after all. My father has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, did you hear that, boss? Looks like you're getting off easy again this time. Don't make it sound like I'm involved in some shady business. It ain't like that. You both seem rather jovial despite being detectives. How rare. All the police officers I've met have always been so dull. Oh, you won't find any dull cops here. We'll round up all your criminals with a smile. That's our motto. How lovely. Keep it up. Just hold on 1 second. This is the first I'm hearing of that. Well, you're right about them not being your typical detectives. I thought we might cause trouble standing in the middle of the street talking like this, but so far we haven't drawn attention. Then again, that might just be because nobody wants to get involved with the case. What brings you here, Richter? Are you on a case? That's right, I'm picking up the police's slack. I trust you remember the kidnapping and murder case from last year. I'll remember now, you're that Haruo Shigima from the kidnapping case. Huh? Did I miss something? Don't be an idiot, it was the case where Munasada Shigima's grandson was kidnapped. Which must have been your son, ma'am. Indeed, the story was suppressed by the news. In the end, it was considered a huge failure on the police department's part. Most of the investigation was conducted in secret, and unfortunately the department is unwilling to reopen the case. Any investigation carried out afterwards turned up nothing at all, which is why I'm now on the job. So they never caught the culprit, huh? That's rough. So your findings have brought you to this place then? That's right, an individual connected to the case used to live around here. Used to? That's right, as of last week they're deceased. We'd hoped to talk to the family. No one was home when I checked last time, so we figured we'd try again. Interesting. It sure doesn't look good on the police to be mishandling cases like these. If there really was a culprit, it should be our responsibility to bring them to justice. Well, I do consider the police my people, so you consider the blame to be shared. You've got a stern side as well, I see. Sure doesn't look... By the way, ma'am, this might be sudden, but there's something I'd like to confirm with you, and that is... Do you happen to know anything about the 7 mysteries of Hanjo? Sorry, Chief, but that's hardly... With all due respect, investigator, I think my question was addressed to the lady. If you insist. What do you say, ma'am? Can you tell us anything? Excuse me. Can't say I know much. Is that so? Well, I'm sorry for the intrusion. Seems like he's got a lot of experience working the streets. Most of the officers I know are the bureaucratic desk jockey type. The contrast is rather striking. Young and energetic detective, he seems to have a strong sense of justice. If my son had the chance to grow older, perhaps he would have become an officer just like him. Come to think of it, I heard some things about this area last night. Something about a strange yet conspicuous man dressed in white loitering around. Wait a second. I assume they were talking about you, investigator. Well, I won't argue that I'm strange and conspicuously dressed in white. As it turns out, I was out here last night to conduct my investigation. Did you run into anything strange or out of the ordinary? Out of the ordinary? I guess I did observe a few suspicious characters. You were asking about curses just now. Why would a public servant be interested in the occult? Boss Richter's a smart man. He can help us if we tell him what we know. I can't promise I'll be any help to you, but I'm interested in hearing what you've got to say. Something is happening in Honjo, isn't there? It must be something big if they've got you head office guys on it. Well, I guess it's alright. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Yeah! Listen closely to what we were about to say, Richter. So by using curses to commit murders, these people collect soul dregs to perform the rite of resurrection. And these curse stones are somehow connected to the 7 mysteries of Honjo. It's a tough story to swallow, but I don't see a reason to doubt you either. I figure the strange occurrences happening around here recently are connected to these curses. To get this situation under control, we've been searching for the curse bearers to confiscate the curse stones. Do you have any information that might help us? That's tough. I never expected curses and other mumbo jumbo to play into this all. But if we're talking shady characters, there was this middle-aged fellow I saw on South Waragasui Street. He had an average build. He was anxious, like he was searching for prey. Boss, what do you think? Well, considering the location, it could have been Hideki Orochi. We already got his curse stone. Impressive, you two are working quick. Did you see anything else? Not that I can remember. That's a shame. If you see any characters who look like they might be carrying a curse stone, it'd be a huge help if you let us know. Absolutely, I'll let you know if I find anything. Richter, perhaps you could lend a hand on our case too. There's a number of people we can't track and finding missing persons happens to be your specialty, no? I hate to disappoint you, but I'm busy enough with this case. The faith of my clients is what keeps me afloat. I have to prioritise requests by the order in which they come. I see. Well, can't say that's not fair. What do you need a private investigator for anyway? The cops should have plenty of bright folks to throw at the job. True, but this isn't an ordinary case we're dealing with here. Huh? By the way, that reminds me, Richter. Yes? You said the person who used to live here died last week. You wouldn't be referring to Michio Shiroshi by any chance? You knew? I thought so. It seems like we're here for the same reason then. Seriously, Michio was involved with curses and magic? Strictly speaking, the curse part isn't our concern. We're looking into Yoshimi's case. Yoshimi? Oh right, Hajime Yoshimi. That's right, he died on the job. I'm sure you've heard of it. I heard. It was a most unfortunate loss. So there's a connection between Hajime Yoshimi of the Juvenile Division and Michio. Well, hold on. Let's focus on Michio for a second. Do you think she has something to do with the kidnapping? Talk about unforeseen developments. Exchanging information should prove mutually beneficial. I'll tell you what I know, but in turn I want the full scoop on your findings concerning Michio. Sure, to tell you the truth. What? You believe Michio's ghost is the one who killed Mr. Janushi? So he wasn't just mumbling nonsense. I mean, we haven't fully confirmed anything yet, but the testimonies we've heard and the evidence we've found point in that direction. Testimony? You mean from those psychic high schoolers? Then they also say there was a chance Michio hadn't killed herself. Wait, if that's all true, then did you figure something out? Oh my god! Can Kichiro Awai, Can Kichimo Harai, he will be the next victim. We have to open the door to the Shiroshi's house. We need to look inside. We're going to go inside the house. Hey, what's gone into you? Boss. I'm sure the landlord would give us a key if we asked. Screw that, you know how long that could take. We can ask for permission later. Richter. Hey, Richter, calm down. We can't just... How many thunderbolts? I know it was like, whoa! Take that, you shitty door. That's how you do it. Richter, get a hold of yourself. I see you're still the same as always. Everyone, come quick, look at this. He did! Dun dun dun! Whoa, what's up with this room? Boss, there's a dead body in here! Whoa, could that be Michio's dad? Nah, he's her stepdad at best, if that. It's got to be the body of Kan Kichiro Awai. There's no doubt about it. This man's a goner. He's gotten real messed up. Looks like he's been like this for a while. I'd say it happened last night. Oreo, did you find Janushi's body in the same state? Now that you mention it. Vigarium Levios! Looked as though Kohei Janushi had died from a number of heavy blows. What are you suggesting, investigator? It was Michio Shirishi. She's alive! Wrong game. Very wrong game. She used the power of the curses to get back at the men who ruined her life. That's ridiculous. You're suggesting she actually revived. It's got to be that, and if she's alive, then... Dun dun. My apologies for interrupting. I know we've just arrived at an interesting plot point. But do you really think a dead girl is going around taking revenge from beyond the grave? Consider this, what if Michio Shirishi never died? But seeing as you've come this far, I'm sure you already know the truth, don't you? And so I would have you answer me a question. Where in Honjo was Michio Shirishi at the hour of 8 o'clock this morning? What? Oh. I don't know. I'm so confused. So Cyberpunk Mr. Miyako. He's the storyteller. He's the one that's telling the story. So I'm trying to wrap up my egg. So it doesn't attract me anymore. He's not very good at it. Where do we think she was? High school? That's what you think. Clearly I'm wrong. Take a moment to reconsider what you know and choose again, shall we? What do I know? Here? Congratulate. Oh, I'm correct! Oh! Why do I think she's possessed Yako? Or do we ever really know? Got it wrong one time. Well, it's a trivial matter. It may have been easy to reach that conclusion had you considered the cause of death. Let's get back to the story then, shall we? I've taken up enough of your time. The cause of death, she was hit by a car. What has that got to do with anything? So you really think Michio Shiroshi is alive? Just think it through and it all becomes obvious. It tracks, but do you really think that girl could have managed all of this? First of all, Ario, go report this to HQ. Too philosophical. I just don't... Like, the thing I thought it was that, yeah, she, like, when she died, she possessed Yako, or whatever her name is. Understood, I'll get on it right away. And the fact that I clicked on the store and that's where Yako actually lives. I'll start investigating this place. It sure isn't lacking in stuff that needs looking at. There's a bunch of photos of the same person pasted all over the wall there. Huh? Whoa, now, hold on. These photos. These are all of Fumishika Najima. Gross. Really, come to think of it, he was in the papers a lot back in the day. Oh, there's even more posted up over here. These are all cutouts from newspapers and magazines about the Najima murders. I don't get it. Why the weirdo shrine? Let's keep looking around. Old books. There are old books scattered everywhere. I wonder what they're about. Many of them are written in a foreign language. It will be a pain to look through all of these. Let's save them for later and continue to look around. The sliding door leads to the kitchen. It barely fits the frame. Cool. It's important to look at, but I can't help but wonder what in the world this is. They're magic runes. They're used in Western black magic rituals. Most of the time they're useless imitations, though. I wouldn't get too excited about it. Oh my, who knew the chief inspector was such an expert on the occult? I just chanced upon that information. That girl with the spirit sense we mentioned, she's pretty informed on the subject. Someone was attempting to perform Western black magic in this place. Pretty absurd, if you ask me. Of course, the person in question was dead serious about it all. While magic is often classed as a branch of mysticism, or may variously refer to the likes of witchcraft or astrology, here it refers specifically to Western black magic. In the Middle Ages, the line between science and magic was blurred, with the pursuit of the supernatural considered a legitimate academic discipline. Astrology was regarded akin to astronomy, while alchemy was accepted as scientific fact and would eventually evolve into what is known today as chemistry. One discipline, however, was considered wicked and shunned accordingly: black magic, the practice of using magical knowledge to strike a bargain with demons. In contrast to the socially acceptable subject studied by the intelligentsia, black magic was most prolific among the lower classes. It was the common people who suffered most from the ills of the day: war, famine and sickness, with which perhaps led them to seek aid from unholy powers. As heresy, these rituals and spells were nowhere to be found in orthodox modes of teaching, but instead were recorded in tomes of dubious credibility. Same man in every picture is that Fumichika Najima. It's quite a spectacle. I don't think I've managed to erase this from my mind. Don't worry, Richter, you're quite the spectacle yourself. Do you mean to compare me with the likes of a bizarre criminal? Old books for... Sure. This drawer is really old, Chief Inspector. Do you mind if I look inside? Huh? I mean, in normal cases, only the police would be allowed to touch things, right? Right, Aereo isn't here, so let me take a look at it. There's just clothes in here. Not much variety either. Can't say they were big spenders. Alexa, turn office light blue. There we go. Didn't actually even turn it on today. Well, I was hoping to find a kind of talisman here, but I guess we're not so lucky. I see. Thank you anyway. There's nothing around to confirm his identity, but by the looks of him, I'd say he's Kinkichiro away. We've seen him before. I heard he had a criminal record, so I assumed he wouldn't have held a respectable occupation. Is this what a curse does to a person? Ma'am, it'd be better not to look so closely. It's amazing. What? This place is disgusting. Did Michio Shiroshi really live here? It'll be a pain to look through all these. Let's save them for later and continue to look around. Decorations. There's candles and stones with inscriptions placed all over. Are these tools for some ritual? Hey, don't touch anything, you hear? That's right. Considering this is a murder scene, we ought to leave everything as it is. All of this can be used as evidence. If anyone besides forensics toys with it, it will cause trouble down the road. Looks like things spread around here have been like this for a while now. This ritual, whatever, was something he attempted up to recently. Plenty of the neighbours mentioned having heard strange mantra-like noises coming from here during the night. You think Uwe was the one chanting? Hard to say, could have been one of the Shirashis as well. If we look through these books in the back, we might learn whatever it is they were trying to do. So, look at the old books. Oh, for God's sake. Crawl is what it is. Okay. Draw done. His arm just cut from publications. They even snapped a number of shots of their own. They must have admired him. Why else would they have collected so many pictures? Whatever the case, it's certain they were obsessed. Look at these pictures of Fumishika Najima cut out from newspapers and magazines. Whoever put these up was obsessed. I wonder what their intent was. You think the Shirashis are somehow connected to Najima's case? Perhaps they did this as to not forget a grudge or something. It's crazy to think Najima might be involved in all this too. Do you think he might have anything to do with the body here? Maybe. The man's already out on parole. He's a curse bearer with a curse stone now. He announced that from sundown today he'll be going on a killing spree. Oh dear. There's an emergency search underway as we speak, but no one's yet managed to get a hold of the bastard. So he hasn't changed his ways. That doesn't bode well. To tell you the truth, the lady here isn't completely unconnected from the Najima murders either. You don't say? That's right, we talked about it last night. 20 years ago I found the hand in Samida River that brought the incident to light. You don't say. You were the kid from back then. You really were brave. You did a great deed. Were you the detective I spoke with? I had no idea. So you two have met before. Fancy that. I've been worried about that Fumishika Najima might bear resentment towards you, Mom. You might be right. Unfortunately, that arsehole is quite the resentful type. Oh dear. That arsehole, I wonder who put the idea in his head. And now he's got the one-sided read too. He's threatening to massacre the people of Hanzhou at sundown. Seriously? On top of that, he's been itching to get revenge on me as well. Of all things, the man's gone and threatened to kill my daughter. Damn, that's quite the threat. Certainly you can't afford to stay put here. The fucker wants to get us all antsy. When I finally get to arresting him, it will be with a cool head. Not going to give him the pleasure, huh? Well, if Awai and Fumishika Najima have anything to do with each other, then this room might hold a clue to Najima's location. Let's hope so. The person who put all these photos up must have been obsessed with Najima. They might have had some relation to Najima's victims, or perhaps it was the opposite. The opposite? What if it wasn't loathing but admiration? But then... Is there anything else? Oh, the window. There we go. With the window and storm shutter closed, no light gets in here at all. It's pitch black. The neighbours mentioned they started to keep the house shut like this not long ago. What do you say, Chief? Would you let me look through it with war gloves? Well, it's not like any help with foreign languages. Go ahead. Thank you. This seems to be a book on Western black magic. Same runes are written here, alongside detailed descriptions of the procedures. I suppose you call these grimoires. It's all a bunch of nonsense if you ask me, though. You think this away guy was studying them perhaps to perform some kind of ritual? There are a bunch of handwritten notes beside the grimoires. Whoever it was, they were serious about this. The way doesn't look the type to be into this stuff, but you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. But why would he be studying black magic? According to the materials, this here rune is for the restoration of youth. Perhaps he was trying to become a young man. This over here seems to be black magic related to resurrection. Each one of these spells requires a human sacrifice. Talk about dangerous. Resurrection, like the rite. I guess no matter what part of the world, people will turn to the occult for similar reasons. So see me, what is it? This looks like a journal. It's probably a wise... A journal? His writing is surprisingly thorough. It's almost as if you were writing a report to someone. Oh wow, now this is something. What is it? What did he write? This is quite the find. Let me give you a summary. So this Kinkichiro Awai fellow, he'd been searching for a spell to restore youth for years. He was into black magic from the start. He believed if he could learn to successfully perform the spell, he could then use it to earn a fortune. To tell his truth, it seems he was already getting funded after he acquired this grimoire. You don't say. This is starting to sound kind of familiar. But first, let's find out how he got his hands on this grimoire. It seems that Najima told him where he could obtain the book when they were both in prison. Ah, that's nearly too much of a coincidence. Likely not coincidence. It seems like Awai took an interest in the Najima murders after it made the news. He admired him rather passionately. You might even say he worshipped the man. Worship? Najima of all people? This was a time when students were itching to rebel. Anyone who did something to shake the world was bound to gather admirers. Away had been collecting these photos ever since that time, and since he just so happened to land in prison at the same time as Najima, he made sure to get in contact. This is a lot. I mean, even having it all laid out like this. The thought of Najima being involved with these grimoires is staggering. I don't think we ever had anything pointing to that. What's the connection? To be honest, it's a shock to me too. For years we've been scratching our heads over the motives behind the Najima murders. Yep, it's been a mystery to us all from the start. Whoa, now, wait just a minute. Do you think... No way, are you saying... That's right, the murders might have been for a ritual. He was attempting to perform black magic. The instructions written down for the sacrificial offering match up exactly with the acts carried out by Najima. Gotta be kidding me. So that sadistic crap he was doing was all for black magic. That's what the evidence suggests. However, Najima tried to do some type of resurrection ritual, but Away had different motives. Chief Inspector, you might think this is all the stuff of fantasy, but that doesn't refute that Najima and Away were both acting in earnest. This is batshit insane. You're telling me that that nutjob did all this for some hokey-pokey resurrection? Shit, resurrection. That means there must have been someone Najima wanted to bring back to life. Who's earnest? Damn, that's it. That has to be it! Fucking hell, it all makes sense now! What was it? Just calm. So about the Najima murders, there's some information that's been kept from the public. Go on. When we broke into his house and arrested him, we also found a baby. Uh-oh, a baby. It was a girl, looked to be about 6 months old, but she was covered in filth. She looked so weak and sickly. We called the medics right away. If we were a second later, I'm sure the girl would have died. So was Najima the father? He told us he'd found her under a bridge. He found her? She was abandoned? I've heard of parents threatening to leave their child under a bridge as a threat, but to think it really happens. Well, I suppose though there are those cases with the dead newborns found stuffed in coin lockers, so it's not without precedent. Whatever the case, we never found out the truth. But there's one rumour from back then that I could never get out of my mind, and it's starting to sound more likely now. Well, I'm sure this isn't the first time you've heard it. Many believe Najima's guilty of more crimes than what got him convicted. Back then, a lot of girls went missing. Yeah, I remember all of that. Among the high school girls that might have been murdered, or maybe should I say sacrificed, was a girl who was pregnant. Goodness, that's horrific. He killed her and dismembered her body And we thought maybe the baby we found is what he pulled out from inside of her. Oh my god. Don't misunderstand me, this is all speculation on top of more speculation. But I, for one, never believed that man would just take in a baby he found under a bridge. I'm feeling sick. Yeah. Stay strong, ma'am. I know this is hard to hear. As my friend likes to say, fuck a duck, that sounds complicated. Yeah. Like I said, don't take that to be the full truth. We were running on speculation back then. Now that this whole resurrection magic has come into play, we should consider the possibility it was his child, and that maybe he was trying to revive whoever the mother might have been. It's just a theory, but my life would be a tad easier if it were true. That's an interesting thought. If there's anyone Najima would want to resurrect a deceased wife is as good as a guess as any. The fact that he obtained a curse stone suggests that he has an interest in the rite of resurrection. Damn, you're right, and here I was thinking that he was only after the curse's power to massacre. Chief Inspector, yeah? What happened to the child? Without a birth registration on file, best we could do was find the girl some suitable foster parents. It was decided to keep the circumstances secret for the sake of the child's future. Well, I'm glad she was taken care of. Don't mean to derail the conversation, but there's still more written in Away's journal. We know Away had managed to obtain the grimoire thanks to the advice he got from his idol Najima while in prison. After conducting research and gathering more information, he determined he had a chance to get rich quick. Right, he thought he could make some money if he could successfully use rejuvenation magic. Correct, turns out someone gave him the idea. And get this, it's going to be to do with the soaps. Yes, it was the one and only queen and chairwoman of Hihaku Soaps herself, Natsue Yamamori. Wait, the chairwoman of Hihaku Soaps? So that's where this leads. Here, let me read what he wrote. The queen of Hihaku has a strange fear of growing old. Her fear of death is even worse. If she does die, she wishes to be revived, and she will spend whatever it takes to preserve her beauty. Magic rituals and rites she'll use whatever means necessary. Her tenacity is unbelievable. She was apparently investing money into any research on resurrection, the restoration of youth and the like. So she would even throw her money at the occult. The place's greed will take you. Well then, that brings us to Hideki Yoreshi. She presumably funded his research into the rite of resurrection as well. That's what it all points towards. I wouldn't be surprised if the Witch of Hihaku pounced at the rumours of the rite of resurrection. It's starting to sound likely. It might also be why she's spreading the rumour about having godly powers. It's a convenient cover for if she becomes young again. Godly powers, what's that all about? You can ignore that. Either way, I think Away took the payments he was getting for his research to seduce a family into taking him in to keep a low profile. The Shiraishi family, Michio and her mother Toshiko, were just his unlucky marks. And this is where you get involved. Are you feeling steady, ma'am? Huh? This is something to do with me? No, you can't mean you've realised then. Perhaps. Ken Kichiro's Away's living sacrifice was a child. That's exactly it. It's her child was kidnapped through sacrifice. Away moved in with the Shiraishis to practice his magic. He needed a sacrifice to perform his youth restoration spell, but that meant extracting the life force from someone young. Oh no, of course, that awful man. So it was Away, this man. Away worshipped Najima, so he must have also despised Najima's detractors. Not to mention he was captured and sent to jail once before. Surely he had a bone to pick with the police. So when he realised he had the chance to both avenge Najima, embarrass the police and acquire a living sacrifice at the same time. Fuck! He got it away, kidnapped Haruhi, Shigima's son, and managed to score 3 birds with one stone. Oh bless her. You're telling me then that that horrid man, he never had the intention of returning my child. Oh bless her. I thought there might have been a reason why the kidnapper seemed to be mocking the police. He never wanted money, his aim was to humiliate the force, it all makes sense. He must have used Michio to lower your boy's defences and then kidnapped him on his way back home. That man, he took Shuichi. Man, please calm down. I understand, but you must remember to breathe. You don't understand. You have absolutely no idea what I'm going through. This isn't a joke. I wouldn't expect the police to understand. You'll never understand. Living sacrifice is what a stupid idea from a stupid little man. Okay, Mum. Let's just take a moment to breathe. Why don't we go get some fresh air? I can't believe this. Oh, bless her. Chief, I think it's best we take our leave. But before we go, there's one more important piece of information noted in the journal. Oh. Away got in contact with Najima last year after Najima was released on parole. He provided him with accommodation and financial support. Is that so? He managed to find a hideout for Najima to stay in. Damn it. If anything, rather than use his money to support the Shirashis, it seems most went to Najima instead. If Najima's lurking around anywhere at the moment, it's probably in that hideout. Did he write where it is? Unfortunately, no, not that I can tell. But it seems Michio knew where it was. She never met with Najima in person, but she was made to go in and clean up, among other things. What good is that information? The girl's already dead. Wait, no, she's alive. That's right, Michio Shirashi is alive. If you can find her and get her to talk, you can get her to spill the beans on his hideout too. Investigator, I'm asking you. I should be going. The lady's not well. Ooh. Yeah, I'm not reading all that. Guy's a douchebag, that's all we need to know, and he's dead. I'm back on the bridge. Are you feeling better now we've gotten some fresh air, Mum? I'm fine. Suddenly, finding out who the kidnapper was really made me lose my wits. We managed to solve the kidnapping case by pure luck here. You're right, but Richter, I feel grateful towards Michio because she killed the kidnapper. There's that too, but it's for something else. If Michio is the one killing all these people, then she must have acquired quite a sizable amount by now. Soul dregs, I mean. Hey Richter, whether the kidnapper's dead or alive.
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, yes they are.
It doesn't mean a thing. Revenge won't bring my boy back. And if Najima is planning to cause a massacre to collect soul dregs, then all the better. I won't give up on resurrection. So I'm counting on you. I so want to carry on because I want to see what happens, but I'm gonna have to leave it there. No. It's getting really good. Well, it has been really good, but it's I can't believe I wasted so much time on that friggin' trying to figure out where to go next. But at least I got two branches now to look at for when I get back. But yeah, unfortunately I'm gonna have to leave that there. I don't know if I do that. That frustration, and now I'm like, Just save quick. Done. 7th of April. Yep. Cool. Alright, there we go. So yeah, so that's the last Friday Fright Night for a couple of weeks. So where this game's gonna take me a while, isn't it? Especially if I get stuck like that again. But anyway, I'm loving it. I hope you guys are loving it too. It's lovely to see you anyway. It's been very quiet tonight, but then I think it's quiet in general on Twitch. So, but anyway, I'll see if there's anyone to raid. Ooh, Ellie Gibson's on playing Plague Tale, so I might send you that way. Have a great time anyway. Well, that's the thing. I'm going to be doing my my Sunday stream. Sunday stream should still be happening. So I'll be doing some more Last of Us, and then that will be my final stream before I go on holiday. So yeah, so I'll still see you before we go. one more stream, and yeah, we're ending on a good one. We're ending on Last of Us, so it's good. It's all good. So yeah, you'll still see me Sunday, but yeah, it's my final Fright Night one for a couple of weeks. So yeah, but anyway, I just wanted to give a shout out because I got a follow from 18H30. So thank you for the follow, and also Chris, thank you so much for resubscribing as well for 17 months in a row. But yeah, I think we'll head over and raid Ellie because she's playing Plague Tale, because obviously then fits in with the horror theme. Yeah, ending on a third stream, it has to be done. So yes, we'll head over to Ellie. But anyway, hope you guys have an amazing Easter. And I shall see you Sunday. I'm actually going to see Ghosty play tomorrow. I'm so excited. When Darkness Falls. So it should be super, super fun. Really excited about it. But anyway, hope you guys have a great relaxing one. Don't eat too much chocolate and make yourself sick. And I will see you on Sunday. So see you later. Bye.